Hey guys, so we got a whole bunch of new Switch information that's come out. Most of this, from what I can tell, happened today, and a lot of it was put officially out by Nintendo of Europe for Nintendo's UK site. But first, let's take a look at the spec sheet that Nintendo UK put out for us to look for the Switch. They had a bunch of different things. They talked about the Joy-Cons. They talked about the headphone jack, which is really interesting to talk about because it may show us that there will be some sort of headphone attachment for this, which of course is great because then we don't have to use our phone to do a very basic, simple thing, which is talk to each other on a game. So the first thing you can do, I'll put the link down in the description, you can go over there. It shows you the whole front of the Switch. It's very similar to the Nintendo US site, except this one seems to have just more information. Maybe they had more updated information ready for when this went live and they could update it. But if you scroll down to number 6, audio jack, it does say, for connecting commercially available headphones, microphones, or headsets. And it does get a little confusing, I will say that, because if you scroll down underneath technical specifications and then you kind of scroll down and look where it says audio output, it just talks about how there will be, of course, PCM 5.1, which is great because you'll have 5.1 surround sound possible through it. The Wii U did, but it wasn't licensed and it was kind of weird to set up overall. But then you scroll down to headphone mic jack. It says stereo output. Now it is calling it a mic jack, so this might just be for the output where it says stereo output. Of course, if you have two earpieces, that'll just be stereo. However, it does talk about a microphone, which would be great because that would eliminate, like I said, the use of a weird phone app. If anything, this might confirm to us that you can use that. Now, there's also mention of Bluetooth, which would be great, and I'll get into that in a minute as well, but if we can eliminate the need for a phone as a necessity, maybe that's a companion app where you can set up a tournament when you're at work that day and, with a couple hits of a button, you can invite people and then they can all confirm, almost like RSVPing for a game tournament that night at like 8 o'clock in Smash Brothers. You guys all get home and you get set up and play it. That's a great idea. That should be a companion app and not a necessity to play online with voice chat. Oh, it's also worth mentioning, just real quick, they do mention the weight as 297 grams, which is the exact amount of weight that the Foxconn leak told us. It wasn't even like about 300, they said 297 with their conversion, so that Foxconn leak keeps coming back. We do get the maximum resolution of 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames. That just tells us, yes, this system, depending on what the game is, whether it's like an indie game or maybe a game that's just very, very well developed like Mario Kart, can get to 60 frames with the Switch when it's going through TV out. I don't know how well the handheld mode will handle that at 60 frames. It might, just because it's dropping down to 720, but we at least have this confirmation now that 60 frames can be run on the Switch. Going down from there, we see micro SD card slot. It does say it needs an update to use micro SDXC, which are the memory cards that they are pushing. I don't know why it needs an update. That seems really weird. Maybe it's specific to each region or something. That's all I could think of. Or they just didn't have enough time to program it in before it went out the door. I guess, with Microsoft's Xbox One, you need an update just to use the thing in the beginning, so there's like a day one update you need when you buy it. At least it was when I got mine. I don't know if they fixed that because I haven't bought an Xbox One in a while, but it's an update you need through the internet. I'm sure it'll be a very small one. It probably won't be a big deal, but that'll let you use SDXC, which are the memory cards you want to use anyway, because those are the ones that support up to 2 terabytes. They also outline that the charge time is 3 hours. It is interesting to note that means in sleep mode. I don't know if that means it's completely off or if it's like where the screen's just off, like when you turn a tablet off. But more than likely what that means is it gets probably from 0 to 60% in the first hour, and then the last 2 hours or so is it trying to charge that last 40%. That's the way batteries work. Now I want to point something else out here that's very interesting. If you scroll down to communication features, you will see, wireless LAN, great, AC, we already know about that. But if you move over, it says Bluetooth 4.1. And that was interesting to me because Bluetooth 4.1 is usually used for headsets or like really nice headphones that use like surround sound, like a Bose headphones, just as an example. I'm not saying it's like the best kind, but just Bose or like maybe a Turtle Beach or something like that might use Bluetooth. And what's interesting is if you jump over to the Joy-Con page, it says the Joy-Cons use Bluetooth 3.0, not 4.1. So that Bluetooth 4.1 is left open for something else, and I have to assume that means it would sync to headphones no problem. So I keep going back to, I can't imagine you have to talk through your phone. That must just be a companion app. This set, and again, this is on Nintendo UK's official site. It's not like some third-party sites that's talking about, oh, we got this information from Nintendo. This is Nintendo's site. they keep talking about how it's going to be possible to hook up headphones to this device. I don't know what else you'd use Bluetooth 4.1 for, and I don't know why they would say you could plug headphones into that microphone jack if you couldn't. They also kind of go over the UI very quickly. I like how this UI looks. It's very clean. It's like that square system that reminds me of the PS4 version, which is so easy to navigate. So I like this a lot, the way it looks. And at the top left, you can see it does show what appears to be a very easy way to transfer between accounts by just touching them. I hope that they would be able to set up a password system, because I'm sure if like you have an account and then maybe your son has an account, like your 8-year-old child has an account, and they just click your account and then just start buying stuff on the shop. I hope there's some kind of password for that, at least way to set up parental controls for that part. Now, I know they showed a whole thing with parental controls where you can kind of block their system off. I just mean more in terms of them being able to go up to the top left, and maybe you have links set up as your avatar, and he clicks that, and then all of a sudden he's on your account that has no parental controls. So maybe just a pin or something. But they do outline what those symbols mean. News, of course, is just the latest news about the Nintendo Switch, upcoming games, I assume, Nintendo Rex coming up, anything like that, sales, and that'll just show up there. Nintendo eShop, I think we already know all about the Nintendo eShop at this point. And then the album, which lets you save all of your screenshots there. And what's interesting is it does talk about being able to add text freely and then sharing them to effortlessly, is what they say, to social networks. I assume that means Twitter, Facebook, anything you use, maybe Instagram, we'll see, but any of those social networks we use to kind of show off games to each other. And again, a little further down from there, you can pretty much scroll way down this page while I'm talking to you about it. Capture screenshots in an instant is just that capture button. We already know that, but it does say that some games will have sections where it's not possible to capture screenshots. I assume this could be things like load screens, or maybe there's some kind of branding in some of the games and they realize they can't take pictures of it and put it up. It's hard to say exactly what that means. I would go more along the lines of load screens, because the system probably will have to do things like, maybe draw Breath of the Wild or something, the whole outside world. We've seen it takes like a couple seconds to do that. That's all I can assume, something like that. But we'll see, again, going forward, what they mean by that exactly. It also says with a future update, we'll be able to capture video footage. This concerns me because, okay, I'm going to explain why this concerns me. So, if you don't know by now, Nintendo claims everything on YouTube that is used, if it's one of their assets with like Mario or Link or Donkey Kong and they're running around or you're playing a game, they will claim it, and then they will take all of the revenue. If you're on YouTube or I guess Facebook, they'll claim it and it's theirs. So this could potentially be setting up a way for them to have free employees going around posting videos, and then they just claim and then monetize. Do I think they would do that? I hope not. I'm sure there won't be any way to go from this to YouTube easily. I don't think there will. I think they're talking more about small clips to go to Facebook or their Nintendo service. They'll probably have a whole social network thing set up. I don't think they're going to let us post to YouTube. There's also word that the little circle around your home button on that Joy-Con will actually light up and glow, kind of like how the Wii U's did, that blue glow that would happen if something was happening, whether you got an update for a Nintendo Direct, or maybe you leave it in like sleep mode and a patch will download, or maybe your game's downloading and it'll tell you when to finish. But it's just a notification light to tell you that something new is happening on the Switch. If you leave it in dock mode, I assume, probably even in sleep mode, to be honest. But it's okay. Some people were kind of turned off by the light still being there, but I'm fine with that, because it at least tells you if something new is happening and you turn your system on to check it. I wanted to jump over from that page to another page called esportkicker.de. This is a Germany site, so it's all in German. You have to translate it. But if you go down this page, an interesting bit of information comes out from a Nintendo PR rep. And I'll show you the little excerpt here on this page. But if you scroll down, you look, he's talking to a Nintendo PR agent, and they're just kind of talking back and forth about how Nintendo wants to push esports on their system, things with ARMS and Splatoon, and of course Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers is that's what it does, is esports. And going down from there, you'll see that they talk about, it's interesting that only a single game module is required for local games. So you can have up to 8 players, according to this, play off of one cart. Now, this isn't new to Nintendo. They've done it with the DS. They've done it with even the 3DS with like New Super Mario Brothers, from what I remember. I remember playing Mario Kart on the original DS Lite. and everybody around could just connect without the game. I thought that was the coolest thing. Same thing with 3DS. I remember Mario Kart 7 did the same thing. It was a little more limited, but again, if you don't have the game, you can just jump in and you guys can race around without needing it. I wasn't expecting it on the Switch, to be honest, just because Nintendo seems to be moving in a different direction with their paid online service. But for all the people, this is just a little tangent. For all the people who say that Nintendo is the greediest company out of Microsoft and out of Sony, you might want to check your facts, because to me, it looks like Nintendo... All right, so first off, all these companies are greedy. They're all out there. They're doing all of this to make money. They're not doing it for art of the video game industry or just for fun. They're out there to make money. But I will say Nintendo has been the company that has been the most... I mean, they try to keep couch co-op alive. They really do. If this doesn't tell you something where you can buy one game and 8 people can play from one game, you don't have to all go out and buy the game like you would with Microsoft's consoles or Sony's consoles. What are you talking about? They were the last ones to charge for online. Granted, their online service has not been as good as the others, but I don't really know how you can put one company above the other in terms of greed when they're all out there to make money. Nintendo just seems to be trying to keep couch co-op alive, where multiple people can enjoy a game from one cartridge or one disc rather than everyone has to go get their own copy. Sorry, there's no split screen. But good move by Nintendo. I like that they are still trying to keep their couch co-op or their multiplayer co-op where you don't have to buy more than one cart alive. 8 players connect to one cart is awesome. I'm sure Mario Kart's probably going to be the one that uses that initially, and it'll be up to developers from there. Developers probably won't want to do it, guys. I'm going to be honest. They just want to get you to buy as many copies of these things as possible. So some Nintendo games will probably let you do it, but not a lot. Oh, and a real quick note, guys, before I go. Pro controllers went on pre-order today at GameStop. I got mine pre-ordered today, a couple hours ago. If you have not, call your GameStop now to see if they have any left. If you want to get a Pro controller and you didn't get it on Amazon, because they might still have some left. They still had about 4 left when I went and got mine, so I got one of those 4. They had 12 total, but people were just rushing in and calling, getting it done. So give your GameStop a call if you still look for a Pro controller. And that's it for today, guys, about all the Switch details that came out today. It was kind of fast and furious. Stuff really just dropped on Nintendo UK. So let me know what you guys think about all this stuff in the comments below. Let me know if you're happy to hear that we might not have to use headphones on our phone to then talk through an online service about our Switch when we're playing games. Because I think that is the most exciting takeaway from this whole thing, that we will have USB 4.1 and USB 3 for the Joy-Cons will be separate. So that leaves an entire Bluetooth channel open for people to connect their headphones. It sounds great. So let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what you think about the 8-player multiplayer from one cartridge, like maybe Mario Kart. And we'll do Tech Wave tomorrow. PS4 Pro got taken apart, and we'll see if we can get it back together, hopefully, and hopefully it still works. So I will see you guys next time.